Hey, it's Coach Rye from Team Flex. Today we're going to talk about Bikini Olympia. I want to go over what happened, some placings, some changes, big things that, were kind of a surprise to a lot of us, and then also get into the actual criteria, what this means for the judging. What do the judges want to see moving forward, 2023, for your season as a bikini competitor? What do you need to know? That's everything we're going to talk about in this video, and make sure you subscribe because this is one of many videos we'll be talking about with Olympia to give you tools, tips, hacks, everything you need to be your best competitor 2023 and ongoing. All right, let's get started. So, if you have not yet seen Bikini Olympia results, I don't know where you've been, but things have changed, ladies and gents. So right here we have Jen Dorie. She was the Bikini Olympia champion last year. Over here we have Maureen, we have Ashley K, and Daraja, okay? This is our top four. This is a great lineup that really showcases the physiques of, bikini and what judges want to see. But there's also a lot of names that a lot of people expected to be in this top four that are not there, such as like Laura Lee or even Issa or many other great bikini competitors. It's very interesting how this call out turned out. And here's the fun fact, right? Here's the crazy, it's not a fun fact, but here's the crazy thing. Jen Dorie, who won last year, is not retaining her title. She actually lost this year to Maureen, who is now our new Miss Bikini Olympia. She's going to give us the example. She's really setting the criteria. And I want to talk today now about everything else. Ashley K taking third, Daraja taking fourth, by the way, if you're paying attention. So let's talk about what changed and why and what the criteria is. Well, my initial feedback on this after watching it and looking at the call outs and looking at the score charts and everything else, what I will say is exactly what I said earlier in one of my videos was I feel like we're going to see a very shredded, very lean type of bikini this year, and we did. We saw a lot of athletes, many that placed second call outs, third. There were so many bikini comparisons on this stage. It was crazy this year, and we saw a lot of them that were very lean, but not very shapely and muscular, okay? Like, it looked to me like a lot of people were chasing shreds in a lot of way, trying to be lean enough this year, that they actually dieted off some muscle. And so that's why I also think champ Jen Dorie did not retain the title, okay? And let me explain, because I know a lot of you, she's a very fan favorite. A lot of people thought she was going to win. All of my coaches that are on my team thought she was going to win. I personally did not put her as winner again this year, but also the winner I projected is not even in our top call out, okay? So this was a crazy year for bikini. That's why it's so exciting. The judges change things up and they mix it up on you to say, hey, here's the new example. That's the cool advantage we get for all of you out there moving to next season. So Jen, if you don't know, everybody out there, bikini's all about the hourglass shape, okay? It starts with the upper body, the shoulders, it tapers down into the waist here, and then it widens back out at the lower body, the glutes, hamstrings, quads, all of that really create for us this hourglass type look. This is what judges want to see. Across the board. Every athlete here is going to show that. Ashley K is obviously a little bit off the pose here. It's hard to get pictures of everybody in the pose, but we have some later we'll talk about. I just really like this one for Jen and Maureen as an example, so we're using it for now. But it's all about hourglass shape, okay? And every judge that I know that is a top-level judge, Sandy Williamson, head judge, women divisions, head of the table at Olympia, Becky Clausen, Tarek Elgindy, all these people that judge many of these pro events and Olympias, everything, nationals, they're always telling me that the foundation of bikini, even though it's all looks small, tight, shapely, and everybody's got to be lean, all competitors are always worried about being lean, the foundation of bikini comes from the muscle. Judges have to see this muscle. Sandy says all the time, the only way you get that shape is with the muscle. You can't diet down to get that shape, okay? And this is where I think things changed this year. A lot of competitors, like I said, were chasing those shreds, really looking for it. And I think this is a reason Jen did not retain the title. Jen has a lot of good shape. She has everything there. And don't get me wrong, every physique in this call is amazing for bikini division. But she, I think, may have dieted too long or over-dieted to the point where she lost some muscle and some fullness, okay? Because we look over at Maureen here. Our current Bikini Olympia champion, very clear representation definition of the criteria. She came in with a physique, you know, that has all those markings, that hourglass shape, everything else, but she is a lot fuller than any other competitor in this call out or in the entire class at Olympia. Okay, and what I mean by fuller is look at her shoulders. We have a lot more roundness going on here in Maureen versus Jen. Okay, these delts are more developed, they're more rounded, they're fuller. Okay, Jen still has that shape, but it's less there. Okay, it's less overall full. Waists are good. This is what you're gonna see across the board with all these comparisons. We'll get a shot at Ashley in a minute in normal pose. But you know, glutes, change it up. Glutes go to a different spot here. Maureen's glutes, very, very full, okay? Jen's glutes look more depleted, smaller to me. She still has the shape, but you know, it's still not there. And then we look lower body, we're just seeing a lot more muscle with Maureen, a lot more shape in the quads, a lot more fullness in the hamstring. Jen is just, you know, it looks like she was chasing dieting, and obviously, why wouldn't she? I mean, she's a former Miss Olympia bikini champion, trying to come in and retain that title. Got to be on point with the condition, but I think she sacrificed some of the shape when she did that. When I look at Jen initially, right, even though I can look at all this, I'm getting more of a rectangular almost type physique versus an hourglass physique, and we'll see that in some of the other top call out. I think that Maureen really let herself have that muscle, have that shape, and she came in, and that was okay. Wow, this is you know, a shocking differential, because let's keep in mind, Maureen is also the shortest one in this group. So, you know, for her to look this muscular, that's some serious fullness. Let's pop over to her back pose now. This is where we get to see pretty good example here again of exactly what I was mentioning. You know, we get a lot of the fullness, the shape from every athlete here, but what I see is that, you know, Maureen, she really brought the fullness to the glute, okay? She really brought the fullness to the quads to a different degree. The glute, upper glute specifically, so rounded, so full. This is very important in bikini also. If you don't have that upper glute, you know, the judges, when they're judging you, your glutes are going to look flat, and that's the effect I get a little bit with Jen. Again, she has the great shape, great markings, the hamstrings, everything, the glute shape's all there, but it's kind of looking a little bit more depleted to me. It's looking a little bit flatter. And Ashley K, same kind of thing. I think Ashley K, if she had filled out the glutes a little bit more this season, you know, she could have been even higher up placing at this Olympia, which is great for her because she's in third. That's awesome. But you know, Ashley K also does a lot of competitions. She does a lot of shows, so she's doing a lot of dieting too. That will hit the muscle, okay? So it's really important when you're doing this kind of stuff that you know, if you want to be your best competitor, you got to get the muscle and the fullness and keep it. That's what the foundation bikini is, and that's really what we're seeing a lot here in the Bikini Olympia callouts. Okay, so let's take a look here. Just another example, another shot where we get to look at everybody a little bit more. This is where you get to see a little more what I was talking about Ashley K, right? She's got, you know, this great upper body, very full. All this is here. Waist is great. Glutes look a little bit depleted to me, right? It's almost a little flat right here. Like you can see that she could have been a little bit fuller in the glute, and I bet she would have placed higher. Again, I'm not criticizing anybody's physique. I'm just talking about placings, trying to give you all the idea of where you need to be, what you need to be paying attention to. 2023 competing. Everybody's physique on the stage is incredible. All right, we're looking at Maureen though. Again, this shape, she's got it. This fullness, she's got it. This glute, she's got it. And also another thing I noticed that was pretty interesting is her posing choice too. All right, so if you look at Jen, former champion here, now in second place at this Olympia, you know, she kind of rotates her posing back a bit more. She's rotating her waist away, her stomach away, this glute coming forward a bit. You know, this is a tactic to try to shrink the waist, but I think honestly what it kind of did for her was narrow her a bit. It narrowed her upper body more, it narrowed her here and there. It did narrow her waist, but she didn't really need it. You look at Maureen's pose, and she's a little bit more front on. She's almost rotating towards us a bit more, giving us more of the shoulders. See a lot more of that shoulder shape, that width, you know, and that really, when you have the waist and it's dialed in like it is on Maureen here, that exemplifies hourglass shape, because then we get the glute, the fullness there, we get the fullness up top, and boom, boom, we're getting a really good shape. Ashley K has a similar pose to that, but again, I think if she had filled out her glutes just a little bit more, you know, that would have helped her. And Daraja, she's great competitor. She has all those shapes too. We'll get her in a full pose here in a minute. We'll talk a little bit more about her. Like I said, it's kind of hard to get everybody in a shot at once. Okay, so here we go. Now, just to exemplify everything I said, across the board, fullness is a key. You got to have this. And, Daraja, she has that too. I think that honestly what hit her the most was the fact that she didn't have the fullest, upper body. She's a little bit asymmetrical. So she's, more muscular down here, great glute structure, great shape, but the upper body isn't really balanced as much as it is for someone like Maureen over here, or Ashley, or even Jen Dorie, right? We're seeing a lot more symmetry. Everything in bikini is hourglass. That means symmetry, upper to lower. So I think that's what kind of hit her. And we see that in this kind of back pose a bit here too when we look at these competitors. But again, the top two we're looking at for the most part, it's going to be Maureen and it's going to be Jen. And they are the example for the most part. This top four, though, really sets the tone for bikini this year. And judges are really hammering it home for us, saying, hey, this is what we want to see. This is what we want you to bring. So if you're a competitor out there trying to figure out what to focus on the fullness. Focus on the muscle, okay? Focus on bringing that through. That's what judges want to see. And this was a crazy Olympia where, some of the favored athletes to win, like Laura Lee, for example, right? Second last year. She's in fifth. She's not even in these shots. She was in that fifth place slot. Again, a good example, but I think she did the same thing. She dieted a bit too long, came in too small, didn't have enough of the fullness. She might have been lean, but it wasn't there. We'll do more videos on that. We're going to talk a lot more about the physiques as we go on, but I just want to talk about this call out today, kind of why it happened in my opinion, and what that means for you is that you got to be building, ladies. Got to be bringing that fullness. Got to really be focusing on, bringing your physique fully through. All next, this time now, it's December. It's the day that the Olympia just ended. You want to make sure that you're training to build the muscle, add the fullness, bring the shape. Don't forget, everything in bikini is the shape. If you don't have that hourglass shape, or you don't have as much of an hourglass shape as you could, it's going to score you worse than you could if you just took the time to build the muscle. And then also when you prep, make sure you don't do a ton of cardio like all day, every day. Don't be doing 2-3 hours of cardio. Don't be doing, all these starvation diets. All that is going to tax your muscle. And don't be dieting for too long. Because if you start diminishing that muscle, you get into a spot where, it's going to be a longer improvement season, a longer time you have to take off, and a longer time you have to build before you can go back to stage, which nobody wants. And this is something Sandy will echo all the time at seminars that we do. She's saying that you got to have that muscle. That's the shape. That's the foundation of bikini. This top four really shows us exactly that. And if we went further down in the callouts, you would see those are the areas where, competitors kind of chase the shreds so much that they just didn't have the fullness when it all was said and done. So really exciting Olympia, everybody. I want to know what you think. Are you happy with Maureen taking over as the Bikini Olympia champion? Do you think it should have been Jen? Do you think it should have been somebody else? Comment down below and let me know what you think. And thank you for watching. Tons more videos coming. Please subscribe. Coach Rye is out.